Almost done. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, YouTube. Today we're gonna talk about consumer culture. So I have with me to talk about this topic Azael Christian and Alexandre. So let's start this immersion. If you don't know me, my name is Epaminondas. I'm host here on TNT. And here on TNT, we talk in English, Spanish, French, Italian. If you want to practice your second language, please come with us. So to start this mission, please, Alexandre, could you introduce yourself for us?
Yeah. So my name is Alexandre. I'm a little some throat in my his hurt here. So I'm Alexandre from Vitória, Espírito Santo. I'm married. I am 70 years old. And I'm here in TNT since July 2020, try to improve my English. The sound is return to my ear, right? It's making a double sound. I don't know why. But that's it. And Israel.
My name is Azel Christian. A model just passed here. But anyway, my name is Azel. I'm from Fortaleza, Ceará. I lived here my whole life. I'm still at school, so I'm still studying. But also, I'm studying another thing I like, which is web development. In other words, I make websites, although I don't have any job yet, because I'm just training with some languages. That's it.
Pretty good, pretty good. And about me, I'm from Brasilia, 20, 30 years old. 30 years old. I work as a personal training. I'm a nutrition student, almost finishing my graduation. And yeah, that's all. That's all for today. Let's start this immersion. And as I said before, today we're gonna talk about consumer culture. So the number one is, do you often use shopping websites just to pass the time or not? Let me know because sometimes I do it. I'm searching for something on the website just to relax. Oh, I I'm doing nothing now, so let me see and let me know if you do the same. Azel, you do the same or not?
Uh, it's rare, at least for me, because usually I access websites in all senses, in whatever the website. It can be a website shopping or any kind of website. I access websites to inform myself about the world or to inform myself in things I like programming, the computer world, or something I like. Usually, I access websites just for it. But sometimes I access websites just for fun, like I don't have anything to do. I wanna, I don't know, go through my time just for nothing.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I do the same. I do the same. And you, Alexandre, let me know about you.
So I do more or less like Azael, so to inform myself and make sure what's happening around the world. And maybe when I need to buy something, I search on the website what's the price, but only when I need to buy something because I'm very minimalist person. I don't like to buy a lot of things. So I can't catch which pronounce because I so bad in my
No
throat.
worry.
Go ahead, pronounce your turn.
And for me, sometimes I access some apps like Shopee, like Amazon, just to let me know if there's something in a good price to buy. Sometimes I put in the card, but I don't finish it. So maybe it's not a good thing. As like you said, Alexandre, I think it's good not buy a lot of things because sometimes you don't use, you don't need, just buy and just waste money and actually we don't need. So you said about minimalism and the number two is about this topic. So is minimalism a trend or a lifestyle choice? What do you think? What do you think, Alexandre? You are muted.
So, okay, so I guess it's the lifestyle choice. And so since I tend to, as a person, I, I, how do I say, I couldn't buy something if I don't want to use it, right? I avoid to buy a lot of things since was a teenager. I prefer to put my money in a bank, right? But I did usually I didn't have much money to spend, so I need to like economizar. I don't know how to say that, but I I grew up with the minimal thing to use because we were very poor in the past. So I learned how to use everything I need in the minimalism acting, right? So I in my in my house I do my food myself and I do exactly what I need to spend for today or tomorrow, not more because maybe I need to do it in the garbage. So I'm very minimalism. I think I don't say I I use the economic right to do my my thing.
Very good, very good. So I think it's important. Sometimes I think about the way that us as a society are living. So buying so much things and needing, or maybe thinking that we need more and more and more, and so maybe it's not. So I think it's important to think about this. Uh, and you as well. Is minimalism a trend or a lifestyle? What do you think?
In my point of view, it's a lifestyle because each person can set a value if he or she can live with a lot of things or with I don't know little things. But this choice depends on the person because some people were raised in families where the minimalism was huge, but in other families, some people were raised in families where the opposite was huge. Like these families spent much money, much time in doing things which is not so, I'd say, productively, like buying much food, many unnecessary things most times, like big houses or spending much time with travels sometimes. For me, minimalism is a way of life, like the American way of life. It's more or less like that. For example, if we here in this section, we can say that most nomad, uh, I don't know if you know this term, which is digital nomads, people that travel around the whole world and doing its work. Basically, they travel around the world doing. its work, and most of them are minimalist people because they can't buy a lot of things in all countries they visit. Obviously, it can happen, but usually it's not the case for most of them. Because when you travel to many countries, you have to save much money because you wanna travel, you wanna enjoy the country you're visiting. For me, that's it.
Pretty good, pretty good. I totally agree to you. And the number three is we have a kind of statement. I don't know if you already listening about, but we buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. And then we see that, and then we see that we haven't really lived it. Do you agree with this statement or not? As a society, thinking about society, status, social media is so strong nowadays, and normally the people buy things just to impress people, or do things, or go in some place just to take pictures and post on social media like that. So I want to know if you agree with this statement. We buy things that we don't need with money that we don't have to impress people that we don't know. um Azael, what do you think? Do you agree or not?
Kind of. Sometimes it's true, and sometimes it's not. It's not only about money to impress people, but also about everything like appearance and haircuts and things like that. It's not only about money. And I believe it happens because people want to show themselves to the people like, uh, I don't know, I think many people don't like themselves sometimes and they want to go through money to improve themselves in some way or improve their appearance to show to people how they are incredible. Now, in this point of view, it's true, but sometimes not because a person can uh, go through much money, maybe to build a new house or to improve something really good in your life, like the body, not to impress other people necessarily, but to improve the health and stuff like that.
Good, good. Thank you for sharing. And you, Alexandre, what do you think? You're muted.
I agree that people usually do just buy things to impress others, but don't have money to pay the bill, and then their life turn a mess. My first marriage was like that. My ex-wife used to buy more than she needed to use, and she didn't have money to pay her bills, and I need to help her uh, pay the bills. It was hard because we couldn't buy something special, like we are set as set aside to buy a house, and then we need to spend money buy clothes, buy shoes, buy things that uh, neither one need this to use. Uh, but I agree to this statement, but I am totally contrary of that. I buy only what I need to use. I I prefer uh, buy simple foods, clothes, and not fancy clothes. I have, you could say, I have a fancy car. Yeah, I bought a Jeep Compass 2 years ago. But I always want to buy this cheap covers. When I had money, I went there and I bought. I live in a house near the beach. I always want to live near the beach, that house, apartment. But it's not to show myself to others. It's, it's about my pleasure, my house, my beach, people around me, my car, only. But if you go to buy kitchen, you don't see a lot of food to lot of meat in the fridge. No, I buy only minimal stuff to use because it's hard to spend too money in the garbage, right? That's it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. And I see a lot of people that pay for things, buy things that don't have money to maintain, as like car. So maybe car is the most common. So some people buy a car and don't have money to maintain the car. So don't use because need to fix something and don't have money to fix because maybe want something that's not prepared to have, you know? So as like you said about your ex wife, some people buy things that don't need or don't have money to maintain, maybe just for other people. So I think it's hard. As like you said, when you have a dream, you have a goal, and you have a plan to achieve this goal, so maybe it's so good. But sometimes nowadays I see a lot of people, especially because of the social media, from my perspective, that buy things just to show on the social media and to get more likes and things like that. The people comment and for ego, you know, so not
Yeah.
because need or want to have to enjoy. So
I
it's hard.
I was always passionate to go to Toronto, and then I was thinking about going to Vancouver. I knew it was so expensive to buy a ticket, flight ticket to live there for. I choose to live there for 30 days in a house in a homestay house and not have money to spend there during the month. I spent a lot of the money in this trip, uh, but it was so incredible. It was the best money I spent in my life. And then after the pandemic, I went to Vancouver. It was incredible. I spent maybe 20,000 reais, about 20,000 reais, going to Vancouver, living there for 30 days, studying in school there, and sightseeing the area. I went to Vitória, from Vancouver, I went to Vitória, the capital of British Columbia. It was so expensive, but it's in my mind, it's a good reminder for until I die, I'll remember this incredible trip I did. And the other situation is about you and Azael, because you are young people, right? You are 23. Israel baby is 18, 19, I don't know. But you need to buy clothes to impress girls. It's necessary. And you don't have money, you have credit card, but you want to impress someone, a girl. To impress her, you need to buy something, right? It's necessary to buy a bit of shoes, a bit of sneaker, a bit of clothes, right? This point of view, I agree that you need to spend money in this situation. Me, not. I I pass the time to impress people by uh, using clothes. Maybe I can impress you, say, oh, I'm Flamengo. Oh, so it's going to best.
Yeah, yeah, good, good. So let's go ahead, Azel. Do you want to say something?
Let's go ahead, Azel. Do you want to say something? Yeah, I think basically it's not necessarily about to impress people, but yet to, uh, at least my point of view, spend money in things that will be benefit to you, or spend money with things you really enjoy, but not in a sense of impress people, but in things that you really enjoy, you really like to, uh, how can I say it? That won't uh, that won't be bad for you, like drugs or much spend much time on games, social media, or spend time with fake friends, things like that. But I think when it comes to it, is spending your time and money with things that will be good for you, or at least things that will make your money increase, like buying or selling stocks.
Yeah, yeah. You said a good thing, and I will skip for number
Yeah, yeah. You said a
uh
good.
6. You said about stocks and things like that, and about this topic or in general. Let's skip for the number uh 6. Do social media and influencers affect your desire to buy things, or in general, as a society, you think that influencers and social media affect the desire to buy things or to sell things as like stocks? Oh, in this time is the right period to buy, or is the right period to sell? You think that this kind of people, YouTubers, influencers, uh, affect the desire that people buy new things or do new things because of the social media? What do you think? I start from Alexandre and after Azael, please.
So I never follow people on social media, or maybe I can follow the news, right? And by the news, I can see what's happening, and then I can buy something like stocks. Yeah, I used to buy stocks, buy and sell stocks. So I have some money on Banco do Brasil stocks, Petrobras stocks, uh, Eletrobras, and then buy I buy them when they are low, and they sell them when they are high, right? I do this kind of thing to save money. But I worked in a bank for several years, so I knew how to handle this situation. Not going buy something, follow the someone you try to capture me to buy, but not only when I see this situation is good to buy.
Pretty good, pretty good. And you, Azael, about stocks or about everything. So, do you think that social media influences and affect the desire to buy things, to sell things? I don't know.
Speaking of in general, like most people, yes, I believe that many influencers can influence many people to buy certain things and others not. Like if you see in advertising, for example, in courses or even in the financial world, some influencers will say that selling, for example, a certain stock can be more good than other, or a certain influencer can say that doing that is better than that, or another influence, which in nowadays is a kind of fashion, which they are called coaches. Coaches, self-development, things like that. And, and many people from this usually say, do it and you will be, well, succeed in life. And many people go through this way. And unfortunately, many times, usually it's not true for most people. And usually they kind of end up frustrating themselves because they believed in a thing that weren't true, at least for them. So it depends much on what kind of thing the influencer will influence people. And sometimes the influencer can use its influence to do the bad or the good, to make people do something which is not good. And sometimes influencers can get in big trouble with justice and even in the country they are. So it's a thing that we have to be careful with when it comes to be influenced by these people. One thing fact, we cannot be we can't be not be influenced for any people. We are always being influenced but for everything basically. But we can do one thing. We can choose what kind of thing or what kind of person will will be influenced. So you can choose if you want to be influenced by that person or that other person. You can decide, but you cannot like not being influenced by the people. It's basically impossible.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And especially nowadays because we have a lot of inputs all the time. So it's impossible. But it's important to filter, as like you said, to filter the people that, yeah, it makes sense or no, it doesn't make sense. So I think the most important ability is to have a critical sense to do something. I think this is important because nowadays we have a lot of influences, a lot of inputs, especially because of the social media. We see most thing that I don't know, but 20 years ago. So it's totally different. 20 years ago, just our family, close friends. Nowadays we have million of people saying things for us every single day. So it's important to filter. I really agree with you. Guys, let's keep for the number eight. Number eight. Do you think having more things makes people happier? Why or why not? Why or why not, Alexandre? What do you think?
So I agree 50% that people can be happy, have more lot of things because they not because they think, because they are happy, right? If I am a happy person, so I don't have much money, a lot of things to use, but if I were happy, I were rich, I was the same as like I am now, right? So some people can have a lot of things and be happy, being happy, and the others can have a lot, but they can't use what they have. So they are in this sad. They are uh, not get used to things that they bought, and they are not happy. I think to be happy, you need to understand the life, the sense of the life only. You need to live day by day with things you have. So if you want to buy something, you have to plan it, to buy, right? Think about it, it's important to you or not. It will make you happy. Like I went to abroad. It made me happy because now I have happy reminders about this trip to, I forgot to say, from Toronto. We went to New York and spent 6 days in New York and went to Toronto again. So it's a good reminder, right? I spent money. I'm happy because I did that. But if I am a happy person, But if you go to to ask me to go to the restaurant to eat food in the restaurant, I will buy rice, beans, maybe a piece of meat or an egg only. I would not like to buy fancy food like that. It's hard to me.
Great, great. So happiness for you is not connected to buy more things. It's about the person.
About
Uh,
I think happiness is about the your background. If your background was good, you can grow a happy person. But if your background was so bad, people fight your dad, you fight with your mom, and and then you grow up maybe a little sad, down the weather, because people what other thing, if your dad, your mom say to you, oh, you are a bad children, you don't do that, you don't grow, you'll be poor forever. So you can be exact they are saying, because you intend this in your mind, right? So I think the background is very important to how do I say, to measure the mind of people, uh, to let them know how to grow better or not.
I totally agree with you. I couldn't agree more. Azael, and you, what do you think about the number eight?
I totally agree with Alexandre with this point. A person not necessarily need to have everything in life to be happy. Obviously, all people do need to have things to live good, but sometimes people that have nearly nothing can be happier than people who have, I'd say, the whole world for them, but are very sad in their lives. So for me, for a person to be happy, this person needs to see the sense of life. Then when this person see what is the true meaning of the life, why this person is living for, so this person in this point will really be happy, because life is not only about material things like money and relation with people, but it's beyond that. So when a person knows it and have conscious about that, happiness will be a reality. Obviously, we need to be true about that. Having money, having good friends around you, having technological things like laptop, cell phone is really good, and in a certain point, it can make you happier if you know how to use it well for your own good. It's it's a good thing. It will make you happier until a certain point, at least my point of view.
Yeah, yeah. I think everybody need the basic things for everybody. So I think it's so hard to be happy when you are starving. But having the basic things, I totally agree with that. It's about your vision about the life. It's about your vision about yourself, your background. I think it's a mixed head, about your mind, your background, build your mind as well, and the way that you see your life, your plans, your goals. So I totally agree to you all. I don't think so that having more things, more and more and more and more will be happier. Uh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think I agree. Um, guys, about the number nine, how do you decide when you really need to buy something? How do you decide? Alexandre, how do you decide when you really need, oh, I need to buy something? Let me know.
So when I really need to buy something, I search for where I can find this, right? the price that is the like you buy a cell phone. I need to buy a new cell phone. My cell phone is 3 years ago, so sold. So, but I'm delayed to buy my new cell phone because they are so expensive, right? And as I act as a minimalist person, I don't use the cell phone a lot. I use cell phone only to see the news, to play a video on YouTube, when I go out. So I decide that it isn't important to buy a new cell phone now. I wait, and then when I see a promotion, like like in the promotion in the end of the year, Black Friday, maybe I can buy a TV or a cell phone. But I search for the price. I go to the store. I look to that, and maybe I go to the shop to go shopping the cell phone, and when I get there, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. No, I was it. Well, I like that. I just delayed to decide by expensive thing, right? Eh, Even though I need to buy it. If I go abroad, I need to buy a new cell phone because this cell phone is very old to go abroad again. Choose that, right? But it's it's my way to live, right? That's it.
Pretty good, pretty good. And about you, Azael? How do you decide when you really need to buy something?
Basically, in two situations. First, when I need of that, and second, uh, when I need us in first, when I need of something like, I don't know, I need to buy a new laptop because my old laptop is too uh, it's not good anymore. It's getting many bugs, many lags, things like that. And I need it because I use my computer to do my websites. So it will be my future work. So I need to buy one. Or, for example, I need to buy a phone, as Alexandre said, to to see the news or to use it in my work and things important like that. And that's the first situation. And the second is when I achieve a certain goal, like buying a course in English or doing an exchange abroad to look up your English or any language you want to learn. When you really want to achieve a certain goal, you just go. You don't make up excuses and saying things like that. Oh, I cannot do that because I'm tired and want to sleep a little bit more. I can participate in the video call of conversation English because I'm sad. I'm not good. My day wasn't good. I'm frustrating. No, if you really want to achieve that, you don't make up excuses. You just go, unless you have a, a good thing to not do that. Like you're really sick or you're you're out of home, for example. But uh, removing these situations, if you really want to achieve that, you just go. You don't make up excuses. That's my point of view. And the two situations, I buy things when I really need.
Very good, very good. Me either. Normally, I don't buy a lot of things, especially expensive things. I try to buy more books and things like that. That normally I try to invest my money. Sometimes I invest in books, course, think that I will get more abilities and maybe make more money with this ability. So normally I decide, oh, I have to buy something when I I realize that I have a barrier to go to the next step. For example, Oh, I'm studying here, and I realized that I need to study more physiology because I don't know about this topic very well. I in this moment, oh, I need to buy another course, I need to buy a book in this specific topic, or I need to buy other cell phone because it's a barrier. So to do the next step, this item is not enough anymore. So I have to buy other. And I'm really like you, Alexandre. Normally, I realize that I need to buy. And I search for promotions. I search for the the best price and the right time. Oh, now it's a good price and I really need, so that's time to buy. Normally I do the same as like you said. I don't do because I'm really rational person, you know. So I don't buy things by emotion. Oh, it's good. I'm frustrated and yeah, it's good for me. I have to be happy and buy something. No, I buy because I need and in the right time to buy. After search for the best moment to buy things. Normally, I do the same as like you. Um, guys, let's keep for the number 12. How do you feel after making a big purchase? Alexandre, you bought a good car. You dream. How do you feel after making this big purchase and bought your new car? Let me know.
So I felt and I feel happy when I use this car. I I'm 70 years old, so I've never had a fast car. And it's not about the fast car, it's about the very good car to use to go to everywhere you want, even though it uses a little more gasoline than others. He is a very good to travel, to go to city around Victoria. And it's a beautiful car, but the it's a good machine to use, right? I feel safe and comfortable using this car. That's it.
Very good, very good. And you as well, how do you feel after making a big purchase? Let me know.
It's frozen.
At my case, as I don't work, excuse me.
No, it's good. Your internet's not, but now it's good.
As I don't work yet, and I don't earn much money. Usually, I don't buy big things like a car or a laptop, computers, a phone, things like that. But usually, when I buy big things that at least is a significant thing for me, I feel very happy because I worked hard for that, and I tried hard for to achieve that. So I really feel happy. But there are other situations when it comes to the word big. Can be big in something expensive or big, something big, but is big for you. Like, I don't know, buying a cheap notebook, for example, but it's big for you because it brought you some memories, things like that. Many times related to your background, your memories, your mind when it comes to big. There are two things of that when it comes to big. But in my point of view, usually I feel happy. And when it comes to the second sense of big, I feel more than happy because in my mind comes up some memories of the thing I'm buying, I feel even more happier. I don't know if I'm being understood, but it's something like that.
Perfect, perfect. Maybe it's not about the price, but it's about the conquer. Sometimes we think, oh, I don't know, but for example, TNT. When I entered in TNT, it was so important for me because it meaning a other step in my life, you know. So I had to go, and now I'm prepared to do this. And after to become fluent in English, I felt so like a Superman, you know, and powerful. So. I think it's important. Maybe it's not about the item that you buy or think like that, but because yeah, I got this and I achieved this goal, and so normally it's about this point, and and because of that, I think it's important to filter what you really want because sometimes you buy because we don't want and we lose this kind of feeling. So. I really it was really important and I active this goal. Go ahead, Sam.
Also, excuse me. Uh, Also, it's not always about money, but about yourself. Sometimes, as you said, you're entered in talk, and you feel better with that because you're practicing your English, you're practicing your output, conversation, writing, and you practice the language as a whole. So it's not always about money, but about how you can be good and happy with yourself, doing things you really like, but those things will be good for you, like doing exercise or practicing a new language, a new ability, learning codes, or learning playing a new instrument, a musical instrument, things like that. So it's also about how you feel with yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. I totally agree. I totally agree. Guys, we don't have too much time, so I paste here this link for the forms about this immersion. Feel free to suggest me some topic to evaluate this immersion, this topic. And yeah, that's all. That's all for today. It was a pleasure and see ya in the next week. Take care. Bye bye. Bye.